Assalamu alaikum guys, it is Bareerah the super storyteller after a long time because I've taken a short break and as you know guys, I have a new guest because you can learn from new people. So her name is Shaba Shams. She's an Algerian born entrepreneur living in the USA. Wow, that's awesome. She attended American universities and built successful career business. Wow, that's really great and awesome. And she is a consultant, career business coach, and international speaker. Wow, that's so much work to do. And she is a CEO, founder, Shaba and Enterprises. And she's a co-founder of Earnable Muslim. And Shaba Shams is passionate about growth and has dedicated her life to helping others improve their lives. Awesome! She's doing a really great thing and job. And she likes to exercise, hikes, and cook. That means she likes sports. And she's also a photographer, which she enjoys during her travels. And you know, guys, what's awesome thing about her? She knows 4 languages. Wow! Nobody has ever known 4 languages. The first one is Arabic, the second one is English, and third French, and fourth Berber. So let's welcome our guest, Shaba Shams.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hello, citizens of the world. Thank you, Bareerah, for having me. I am so delighted to be part of your interviewee panels, and I hope that whatever I'm bringing to the table, it's something that can benefit a lot of Muslim kids around the world. But most importantly, you and I was super excited when you reached out to me, and I thought, oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful lady I have here. And when I asked you, what are you going to be asking me? You said, children question, honey, this is not this. You are an amazing, amazing person who's doing more than what regular kids at 11 years old are doing. So I commend you for that. And I think it's wonderful what you're doing, taking advantage of this wealth of people around the world and then connecting with them and learning from them. I'm very, very excited. And thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored.
You're welcome and thank you for joining me. And you know what? I'm so excited to talk to you,
Same
Miss.
here. Yeah.
And I have so many questions for you. So many, so many.
Let's get to it. I can't wait.
Okay. So my first question is, please share who is Shaba Shams
Well,
as a
as I
person.
thank you. Thank you for that. So, as I told you before, I was born in and raised in North Africa, Algeria. I grew up by the Mediterranean, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place, wonderful. And I came to the United States about 20 plus years ago. So I went to school here and I got an education. I'm interested in a lot of things, in addition to being a an educated woman. I have a lot of interest in just
Yes.
learning and applying what I learn. And I like to exercise. I like my faith. I love my religion. I love my people. So different things that I like to do just to be grounded and rounded.
Wow, that's funny and really happy. And you know what? And I'm really happy to meet you, Shaba Shams, as a person. You're an amazing person.
Oh my God, thank you.
You're welcome. So, my next question is
Hmm.
for you. Please share about your childhood and schooling.
Well, as you mentioned it earlier, I speak four languages. So I grew up in a country where we speak French, Arabic, and I am also a Berber from North Africa. So I grew up speaking these three languages. So I was lucky, to have enjoyed school like everybody else. Growing up, I only had one brother. So growing up, I was like a tomboy. I was always running in the streets with the boys and the kids of my neighborhood and following my brother around because he's 2 years older
Mm-hmm.
than I. So I grew up around a lot of boys rather than the typical Muslim girl who grows up in the household cooking and cleaning. So I wasn't like that at all. And it was wonderful because really it prepared me to handle a life of going out, whether to study or work. I gained a lot of confidence because of that. So I was very lucky. And I was also involved in a lot of sports at a very early age. I was a gymnast and I did tennis and I did swimming and I was competing. That was just wonderful. So yeah, it was so super growing up. I had a lot of fun growing up as a child, and my schooling was also very exciting. I was a math major until high school. So a lot of people don't see me as a little math geek, but I was. And yeah, I enjoy learning. I've always enjoyed learning. In fact, like you, when I was your age, instead of just wasting my time in different and useful, activities, I was really reading and I was learning and I was just trying to pick up everybody's brain and see how it helps me to grow. So that's why I see me in you, kind of like back a lot of years ago, decades ago. And I'm really excited that you are on this wonderful, wonderful path and journey where you're learning and you're connecting with the world. And then just that's I didn't have the same opportunities, of course, at the time. There was no internet. But I'm very excited to see you do this because it's a whole world that you are exploring through the people that you're meeting. Alhamdulillah. Are you still there? Because I think you froze.
Oh, I think Shaba Shams has disappeared, but she will come back, I think. Yes, there she is.
Yeah, I lost you for a little bit there.
It is okay. So, as I was saying, Shaba Shams, it's really amazing and inspiring. So, I come to my next question.
Okay.
So, Miss, who played a major role in your life and how?
Well, many people played an important role in my life. Like I was saying earlier, because I have always been tuned into education. So the biggest people who really inspired me, of course, are my teachers. I remember when I was in middle school, I had two amazing math teachers who really inspired me a lot. But before that, I think just the women in my family, like my mother, my grandmother, her mother, very hardworking women who really helped the world and the community. I think you are. I don't know. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Okay, because I think you froze for a minute. So I think the women in my family also had an important role in my life just to show me courage and persistence and endurance. And then they were very much community oriented. I remember my grandmother, who's still alive and she's 96 years old now, when she was, I
Oh,
mean, years ago. Yeah, she was working, one of the first women who actually had a job and her apartment, and she was like very independent. And she helped so many people, like the poor and the orphans and the widow. And she's been really, really good to the community, and she was just so generous. I mean, and she's still generous. It's just like now at 96 years old. she's mostly in, not
Yeah,
as mobile as she used to be. But yeah, these are the people who really inspired me growing up.
yeah. Yes, yes, you're right. Families are important too.
Yes, absolutely.
So let me get to my next question.
Okay, I'm with you all the way.
Okay, what advices you still carry in your life from your parents?
Well, there is one actually advice that I believe had become part of who I am in terms of my growth and development is really just having trust and faith in Allah. I grew up with, with a mother who was a very devout Muslim woman, and I gained that from her, just to be trusting in Allah and believing in Allah and always having that connection and grow my faith, alhamdulillah. The other advice is gaining some sort of characteristics or characters or ethics that help you as a somebody who is learning or as somebody who's working. Like for instance, my dad was very um, serious about the time. He's always punctual. He always came on time for whatever, and he always taught me that before time and after time, it's on the time. And you have to value people's time by committing to that one moment. And I learned that from him. I learned authenticity. I learned honesty. Just different things that I think you have to gain to become a decent human being. And I appreciate the question because I believe that now the world and the leadership that we have throughout the world is lacking some of these principles of what makes a decent human being. What is it that makes you a good human being? And I'm not talking about country, I'm not talking about religion, and I'm not talking about, it's about being a decent human being who really lives their life with honor and try to honor the other human beings on the planet. So I think we have still a lot of work to do in that sense because we feel like lack of good character now is praised all over the world, and it's wrong. So we need really to come back to a certain level of understanding of values that we have lost throughout the way. And the question becomes, how do we bring these values into our lives to honor this life we have and to honor other people's lives as well?
Mm-hmm. Mashallah, you have told us a really great thing,
Thank you.
and it's really wonderful to hear that. So, so let me ask you my next question.
Okay.
So, which is the best time of your life and why?
Well, the best time of my life is really the one that I live now. I believe that you cannot look into the past because sometimes you reflect on the things that you missed out on and you get depressed. And the future is not here. And if you worry too much about the future, you get anxious and you have anxieties. So the best way to live life, like Buddhists would teach us, and a lot of other spiritual gurus out there will teach us, is really like live the moment, be in the moment. So I believe that the best time of my life is the one that I'm living here now, in the here, as I am growing and as I am learning about other people as well. So I always appreciate this moment. That's the best time of my life, if it does make sense. You are muted.
Yes, I think that's make you know sense. So, as you know that was wonderful sharing you have done to us. And I'm so excited for the next question.
Can't wait.
So let me ask you the next question too.
Okay.
Please, so please tell me now, you're a consultant and a coach both. But when you are a student, which teacher inspired you the most?
Wow. I think that I had a lot of great people in my life that inspired me, and the ones who impacted me the most are not really through the traditional education. I began a traditional education, and I spent a lot of time getting, degrees, and I have 3 master's degrees, alhamdulillah. My most influential educators, I would say, are the ones that I am learning from, not because I have to, but because I choose to. And those are the ones who influence me and impact me the most. And there are plenty of them right now that I look up to and I learn from. Um, I really do admire John Maxwell for his leadership teaching. So I do learn a lot from him and his method. And I am a John Maxwell certified speaker and coach as well. And there is another one that I like, and his name is Tony Robbins, and he is also very influential, especially when it comes down to business growth and personal growth. But I'm also like open to learning from a lot of people out there. So I think the best educator or teacher, you want to call them, are the ones you feel like they're adding value to you. They're teaching you something that's in helping you grow. When you go to a classroom and you're just receiving, and there is really no connection between what you learn and what you do, that's not really proper learning. And unfortunately, our educational system is established like that. And maybe I shouldn't be telling you this because I should encourage you for the education, but you will realize down the road that the traditional education system really has failed our new generation to really gain the tools and the skills that they absolutely need to develop themselves and gain the skills they need to become whatever they want to become. So if you want to become a writer, or you want to become an entrepreneur, or you want to develop yourself and achieve the impossible, the educational system is very limited and limiting in what it can teach you, because it's so confined within a certain step by step, get a degree and that's it, that it does not really open up the mind to other things, to innovation and growth. So I hope I did answer the question. I believe that the most people who influenced me in my learning are the ones who I chose to learn from, not those that I had to sit in a classroom and listen to.
Yes, that's right, and you're really correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's a really nice thing you have tell us.
But learning is important, okay? Learning is very
Yeah,
important. Yes,
yes, learning is really important to people and others who are watching us.
absolutely.
First learn, then you will know how to use it or
Absolutely.
speak it.
Yes, I agree with that.
So my next question is about your life. So what have you learned from your experiences in your life and career?
Wow, that's a very good question, because I believe that all of us, you, me, everybody on this planet, every so often they need to stop, pause, and really make an assessment of their life and see where they are and where they want to be and what they have learned exactly from the past. And I think the most important thing that I learned from my life is I only started making sense and having a feeling of a fulfilled life once I focused, or I redirected my life into growing my faith and trust in Allah. So that's really important, because I realized that you can be all successful, right? You can achieve great things in life. If you do not have that foundation, which is your belief, something that you feel is is your wali. He's here to protect you, to guide you through the way. You can reach success, but it feels empty. There are a lot of people after all of that, why do you think people go into doing things that are harmful to themselves? It's because they don't have a foundation. So we need to build that foundation. So I learned throughout my life that I need to have a strong faith, a strong belief in Allah and trust in Allah to be able to achieve whatever I want. So when I am done doing everything, or during the time that I'm doing everything, I have Him to lean on, Him to ask Him for support, to ask Him for guidance. So that's number one. Number two is that as you grow up, and especially the young adults who are listening to us right now, learn how to be proud of your belief, your religion, your race, who you are from, where you come from. Embrace that because it's beautiful. Don't ever allow anybody to talk you down or to undermine you or to tell you that you're not important because of the color of your skin or the country you come from or the accent or whatever it is. So develop that pride in you that you are a Muslim from Algeria, from Pakistan, or from India, or from the moon. It doesn't really matter, but develop that pride of who you are and stand up for what you believe in because nobody else will. And then as you walk through the walk of life, learn how to gain values. Be true to who you are. Don't try to be something you're not. Don't try to fake it because you will never make it. A lot of people say, oh, fake it until you make it. It really doesn't work because people will pick up on your words and action if it's not honest and if it's not authentic. So these are the three, I would say, pillars that I would say are really what I have summed or synthesized throughout my life. One is your relationship with Allah. Two is be proud with who you are. And then three, gain the right attitude and the right character that will help you go through life and be true to yourself.
Yes, you're really right.
Thank you.
That we all need Allah. We all need Allah's help. If we don't need Him, then what we will shall do without Him? He's the only one to help us. He's
MashaAllah.
the only one to guide us. So we all trust in Allah. No matter what, He is always beside us.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. So my next question is that now again I want to ask about your childhood. So please tell us that share the most interesting and funny experience about your childhood.
That's really a good question because, I'm not young. So for me, my childhood is a very long time ago. I thought about it though, I thought about what things that I really enjoyed that was like fun and enjoyable in my childhood. And I grew up in a Muslim country, and at the time, women are not, they don't have access to the same things as men, like even education. I remember a lot of my female friends from school, they didn't get a chance like me to go to high school and college and finish education. So that was a reality. However, I was very lucky because my father, who passed away a year ago, Allah yarhamu, he was very progressive in his thinking. So he raised me, like I said, like a boy. I was raised like a boy. I was running around and I was playing football and I was doing sports and I was just like a boy. He treated me exactly like a boy. And one I remember, the best thing that I was doing as a child is he would take me to a lot of different events. Like I was going to boxing matches. I was going to different events like music concerts and festivals. And I was just hanging out with my dad a lot. So I was like a little, and actually my hair was blonde when I was growing up. So I was a little blonde with my dad in everywhere he went. And I really loved it. It was so much fun because it wasn't a world that wasn't open to women when I was growing up. No women would go to concerts or music festivals or boxing matches, and my dad would be always dragging me. So that was really an amazing experience because it taught me how to be comfortable and just be in this world where I'm not afraid, and I gain this level of confidence that I am not afraid of. So I am grateful for that. And it was a lot of fun, just, competing in sports and then just being in this environment. So it was really a lot of fun. So that was really a nice moment of my childhood. I loved it.
Wow, that's a really
Funny.
funny
Yeah.
and really interesting experience you have told us. So, as you know, that Miss, I saw your introduction. You know, four languages, and you know that you have four languages. So, how did you manage to learn these languages? You know?
That's a good question because I had an interview prior to this one 2 days ago, and it was the same question, but it was more about how you learn English. So I'm glad you took it to a more broader perspective in how you manage or you learn more than one language. So as a Berber from North Africa, I grew up speaking three languages. The Berber or the Amazigh language is my mother tongue, and then I grew up in a world where we spoke French and Arabic alongside. So I developed a system where I created some kind of files where I have different files for different languages that I would access when needed. So for instance, in my household, we only spoke Berber and French. So when I go home, I either use Berber or I use French, like mainly Berber with my mom and grandmother, and then French and Berber sometimes with my dad and so on. So then I go out in schools and with my friends. I grew up in Algiers, the capital. So I didn't know many Berbers there. They lived in a different area. I knew a lot of Arabs, and so we spoke a lot of Arabic and French. So again, you tune in. If you're in a classroom, you're talking French. If you have like a program in Arabic, you speak Arabic, and then when you're friends, you speak Arabic. So then when I came to America, all I did really is create another folder for English that I access. Like now, if I'm speaking with English speakers, I will tune in into the English file. If I'm speaking with grandma, my mom, I tune in into the Berber file, and so on and so forth. So it actually helped me create compartments, but the trick is to train your brain to be able to access these different ones. And because I grew up with these files in my brain, it's like a computer. I was able to manage and do it successfully, alhamdulillah. And now I don't even think about it. I just switch to the language. But sometimes when I'm tired, I actually can speak English and then I say a sentence in French. My husband doesn't speak French, he speaks
Mhm.
Arabic and English. So, like yesterday, I don't remember, I said something, I was so tired, and I said something, oh, jamais, je n'ai jamais vu ça. So I say a French sentence, and he looked at me and he's like, uh, is jamais never? I'm like, yeah. So when I get tired, sometimes I feel like the channel to access the folder is a little blurry. But outside of that, I think I manage in really going from one file and I don't even think about it. And yes, I do dream in English as well, because a lot of people ask me, do you dream in English? And I say, yes, my dreams are in English.
That's a really brilliant. That means you love to study and love to, love to know more about languages. So it's same to me. I want to learn more languages.
So what languages are you interested in learning?
I'm just learning Arabic for now. I'm learning Arabic online, but
Math.
not full. I mean, I'm learning just
Yeah,
new.
that's good. Yeah, that's good. Absolutely. That's a good start.
Thank you. So, my next question is, Miss, how do you manage to be between job and home?
Wow. So it's called time management and it's called multitasking, even though the research shows that multitasking is not really a good thing. But what I mean by multitasking is you can handle many things in your life without, compromising the quality by focusing and prioritizing. I've always been super active. I remember a few years ago, I was on 2, 3 hours of sleep a night because I had a lot of obligations between job, school, work, family, and so on and so forth. So I've always been very, alhamdulillah, very active. I have high energy, so I'm very able to just switch tasks, and I work fast, so it doesn't take me hours to cook. It doesn't take me hours to clean. I just really, I've been blessed to be able to accomplish a lot in little time because of my nature and personality. And again, when you eat
Mm-hmm.
healthy, when you have a healthy life, when you exercise, you have good energy, so you're able to do all of that.
Wow, mashallah. That's really great
Thank
that
you.
you manage between job and home. So, my next question is to you in the end, what messages or advice you want to give to our audience and viewers?
Thank you. That is a very interesting question, Bareerah, because I believe, especially that you gave me this platform to talk to
But
kids your age. What's that?
I just forgot one question,
Okay.
and that's about project because I have that you are working in some challenges. So please share about your current project and its challenges.
Thank you. So then we go back to the advice question as last.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So, I mean, it all ties, really. It all comes together because we are talking about time management and how you handle different projects. And yes, we do have projects. Like currently, my business partner and I, Muhammad Arshad, and I are working on a project. And we're launching on Monday a challenge, a 7-day challenge, and it is online for entrepreneurs, Muslim entrepreneurs or Muslims who want to start a business to come to our challenge and sign up and for free. And for 7 days, we're going to teach them and share with them our
Mm-hmm.
expertise and our knowledge to how to start a business and so on and so forth. So again,
Oh.
when you learn a lot of stuff and you're only 11 years old, but when you learn things throughout your time and your life, you're going to reach a time where you have to take that expertise and that wisdom and share it with people because it's your
Yes.
obligation. Allah granted you and gave you so much wisdom and so much expertise. At some point, you have to share it with other people. So this is what we're trying to do, inshallah. So we're launching this program next week to benefit the Muslim community, and I hope
Inshallah.
a lot of them are going to sign up and they come and work with us and learn things they didn't know before. And I hope it's going to benefit everybody. So now, can I go to your next question?
Yes. And I just want to say that good luck and all the best to your project.
Thank you, Angel.
Inshallah.
Thank you, mashallah. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you.
So back to my next and ending question.
Thank you so much for that. So, like I was saying, this is a very important question because those of us who have had experiences through education education, through work, through travels, through just an exposure to the world, at some point you come and you want to benefit, especially like I said, you're giving me this wonderful opportunity and platform to reach out to kids your age and of course older, but the voice you're giving me here, I am very grateful for it because you're allowing me to speak to you. And so if I were to give you an advice or even kind of my sum of what should be next, or should I say, if Shaba today was talking to the Shaba who was 10 years old and 15 years old, what would I tell her and what would I tell you? So the first thing really, I believe, is to understand that this life is a gift. It's not, and we shouldn't take it for granted. This life can end and she can go away from us anytime. So the question is really, what do we want to do about it? What do we want to do with it? What do we want our life to be about? And when we start to ask the what and the why, we go again to the whole concept of develop a good relationship and a good foundation with Allah. That's very important because without it, nothing matters, really. If you don't have this belief and this gratitude and hamd of the blessings that Allah had given you, there is really no fruit, like good taste to life. Because like I
Yes.
said, I have friends who don't believe in Allah or don't believe in God. They can achieve a lot of success, but every time when they're done doing all they're doing, they feel this emptiness. They feel a void. They feel like there is, something is missing. So if you
Yes.
feel that way, that means your spirituality is a hole. Like there is a hole in there. There is something missing, you know? So that's number one. Number two, really try to use your time in learning, and develop habits of success at early age. Like you're 11 years old. Oh my God, I wish I was your age when I started learning about personal growth. I wish I
Yes.
was your age when I started talking to people who knew more than I did and impacted me in a better way. And sometimes kids don't listen to
Mhm.
their parents, which is fine. Go find other better role models that you can look up to. And then pay attention to what's happening to you because everything is important. Pay attention to how you can impact others, how you can bring people together, and then how you grow and give and gain and give. All those are very important. So I think these are the three things that I would probably advise you guys at early age. Good relationship with Allah, good foundation with your creator. That's very important. Number two, learn, get into the personal growth and develop. And three, uh, adopt a path that not only helps you but also helps you help others and make a difference in the world, inshallah. Because you want to ask yourself, when I'm not here, when I am gone, what do I want to be remembered by? And you are never ever young enough to ask yourself this question. So from now on, plant the seeds of love, plant the seeds of humanity, plant the seed and of growing and giving. And I can promise you, 5, 10, 20 years from now, you will look
Mhm.
back and you say, I am so grateful that I had that one moment where I adopted this lifestyle instead of wasting it and just fooling around and playing around. So, Bareerah, I honestly believe that what you're doing is amazing,
Mhm.
amazing, and I believe that the limit is the sky for you in what you can accomplish through your life, mashallah. And I am so excited for you and about you, and I cannot wait to see what else you're going to accomplish in your life, mashallah.
Inshallah. And thank you for this lovely advices. And these advices will still carry us in the life until end. So thank you very much for joining me, and I have enjoyed this lovely talk with you,
Thank you.
Miss.
Same here. And please call me Shaba. You don't need to call me Miss.
Yes,
Thank you
Miss.
so much, Bareerah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. So this was Shaba, and she was a really wonderful person, and she has taught us many things and many important things. So, which advices she has told us? Please listen to these advices, and these are still important to us. So, अब इजाजत ने बरिया अली द सुपर स्टोरी टेलर